Hi, thanks for clicking on Frequently Asked Questions for the GT class. The number one question that I get from most parents throughout the year, especially at the beginning of the year, is how is it possible that my student has a B, C, D, whatever in the GT class when, quote, they've always made hundreds in all their other classes? Well, the answer is fairly standard. Same thing really applies to almost every student and every parent that I get that question from. And the answer is the class is meant to be a challenge. If your child was making a 100 in the GT class, then I don't think that I would be doing my job. And my job is to be challenging your student, to stretch their minds, to force them to think in different ways, force them to work in different ways. We want them to reach their potential. We want them to use their gifts, to use their talents. And if they were easily making a 100 in the class all the time, then I don't think that I would be doing that. So, with a little more detail, the answer would be, this class is meant to be a challenge. The expectations are way higher than classes they've had before or even have throughout the rest of the day in middle school, which means that the preparation for this class is actually requires more effort as well, the higher expectations for that preparation. One of the more important things, I think, is for you to understand as parents is that I don't give worksheets, and very rarely do I have homework. So those are two things that typically will buoy kids' grades up. It'll keep them higher, and we don't have that easy thing to fall back on in GT. So the type of work is different also in GT, and that will affect their grades. It's not just fill in the blanks on this worksheet or answer, definition of a word on a quiz. Instead, it may be, look at this painting, tell me how that painting of sunflowers relates to Congress. That's random, that's weird, that requires a lot more thinking, and that's not something that's going to be an easy 100 for most students. The quality of the work also has higher expectations. What may be acceptable and has been acceptable, that sugar cube Alamo that you made for the history project, that's not going to be acceptable in GT. And that's because the state of Texas requires the work produced in GT to be of a higher level, of a more professional level. So, summarizing, they're not making 100 in this class because it's designed to challenge them, to get them to work harder, to get them prepared for high school, to get them prepared for college. Hope that helps. Thanks.